So just a little review with linear equations. With linear equations, it's a straight line. We have a slope and a y-intercept, right? This is my slope-intercept form. And always, 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 the coefficient of the x, in other words, the number in front of x, is going to be our slope, and this is going to be our y-intercept. So there are many ways of getting the equation from the graph. One would be to look at the graph, okay, where it crosses the y. In this case, the 3 is going to be my b, my y-intercept. So I'm going to put positive 3. And for the slope, I'm going to count rise over run. Okay, rise is the elevator, run is like this, from left to right. Okay, so I already have 1 point here. I need to do 2 points, always 2 points, to count rise over run. Okay, so I'm going to select another one that's like right on the grid. So let me zoom here. So this one's right on the grid. So I'm going to get, like I tell you in class, this is the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, and Zach is trying to get to Cody. And they're in different levels of the hotel. So before they run to each other, because they're on different levels, they have to use the elevator. So the first thing you're going to do from Zach to get to Cody is to use the elevator. So we're going to go down on the elevator 2 floors. So it's going to be -2. That's going to be our rise. So over here I'm going to put -2. Once they're on the same floor, they're going to run to each other. So here is Zach trying to get to Cody, and it's going to go to the left once. So to the left would be -1. So then our run would be also negative, so -1. Then you simplify, you can enter this in the calculator and it will give you a 2. So then my answer would be 2x plus 3, y equals, okay? Another way is to go to the calculator and enter these 2 points that I selected, or any 2 that are on the line. This one is 0, 3. And this one over here is -1, +1. Okay? And then on the calculator, let me zoom a little bit, you would go to spreadsheets, press X here, X, and then make that one Y. If your calculator is already pre-filled because you didn't clear the memory, it's easy, just go to menu, data, and clear data if that happens. You don't have to do this every time. And if anything fails, just clear the memory. Okay? So now that it's clear, I'm going to enter my 2 points. So the x's are 0 and -1. So I'm going to enter 0 and -1. And my y's are 3 and +1. Once I have that, I'm going to click Control Doc. Okay, so I press this Control key, the yellow, and the document, so that I can select the new document. And I'm going to select the data and statistics. I'm going to name my axis. This one is the x, and this one is the y. And then I'll go to menu and regression. And remember, every time you're doing a slope.
Say, just a friendly reminder that there is a presentation in the pavilion right now.
Excuse the announcements. So every time that you are looking for slope, y-intercept, or your answer choices look linear, you know that you're going to choose a linear regression. So the keyword of slope or rate of change, or the word line, or a straight line in this case, that you see that it's a straight line, will give it away that it is a linear equation you're looking for. Okay, and we select the first one, which was mx plus b. And there is our equation again, 2x plus 3. Okay, so that's one way that you can have a question on the equation of the line. Another way, if it's on a table. So if it's on a table, you're going to do the same thing with spreadsheets. So you would start with your table here, x and y, enter all of the x's, all of the y's, and then regression for linear. Here I know it is linear because it tells me right here in all the answer choices, you know that it is a linear function because it's not an exponent, the d is not an exponent, and the d does not have a square. So it's not a quadratic and it's not an exponential, so it's got to be a linear. Okay? Here it tells me rate of change, and there's a table, so I know that it's linear, and I'm gonna look for the slope. So in y equals mx plus b, the m, okay? Sometimes the scales are different, and you just have to realize, for example, here, it's 1.5. So when you count like rice over run, you gotta be careful with that. Again, you have 2 points, you make yourself a table from those points. Like here it's 10, 1.5. This one is 20 and 3. Once you have 2 points, you go to spreadsheet and do the same deal. Another way you can see this problem is if they give you the 2 points and they're asking you for slope. So slope means that it's a line, and it also says the word line, so linear. And then they give you 2 points. Remember, one is xy, xy. You can build a table here. And then again, go to spreadsheet and choose linear regression to find that. Okay, so that's a little bit of a quick run with linear equations.